Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, coming at you every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to everyone that's in the chat already. Glad to have you guys here. Mr. J, first one in the shoot today. It was always awesome to see you over here, man. Elo Brown, Gia with her blue wrench, mad love. Eric Wallen, RSN Arsan 246, and Lex Caliber. Ben Redden. Got the crew here. Got the whole bros crew. So, yeah, we got some info to get into today. We had the PPI data come in this morning. We also got a lot of stuff coming out in the headlines right now, and we had a breakdown on Bitcoin. We look and see why that might have happened, and we'll talk about that. So, sorry for the late start off this morning. I had to get this headphone issue fixed from yesterday. I never did it yesterday. I was busy, very busy out here in El Paso, Texas. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get in. Let me make sure that I got my thing monitor going here. Yep, we're good. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let me know in the chat if everything's good on the volume and the sound. And if it is, we're going to rock it out. That's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead. We're going to talk about some news today, economic news first, right off the bat. Let's get in here and let's take a look at what we had, because we had PPI today, people. First off, there's your 30-year mortgage rate average is at 7.67. However, I am seeing reports from people from that I follow on X that this is actually coming in now at around 8% in some areas. So that's what we're seeing there. PPI data came in month over month this morning at 0.5%, half a percent. So what we're seeing there is previously we were at 0.7. So yes, PPI has now come down, but did not hit the consensus or forecast numbers that they were shooting for at 0.3% and 0.4%. So let's go see what this means here. If you guys click on this little thing here to tell you right here, producer prices in the U.S. rose a half a percent month over month in September 2023. That would be for last month because the data just came out for last month. Following a 0.7% rise in August, but above the market forecast of 0.3%. Goods prices were up 0.9%, prompted by a 5.4% surge in gasoline cost. So those high gas prices you guys saw, there it is. It's playing out in the PPI. Prices for jet fuel, processed young chickens, meats, electric power, and diesel fuel also went up. On the other hand, and this is some good news here, cost for fresh and dry vegetables declined by almost 14%. So, if you like eating healthy, there you go. And prices for wood pulp and utility natural gas also fell, which means natural gas that people are using to heat their homes as we're heading into winter. That means that also is going to be cheaper for you this winter. So, drink some coffee, drinking the coffee, hanging out with the bros here while I read my daily news, just going through my daily routine here. Meanwhile, prices on services were up 0.3%, with cost for deposit services partial, meaning that people had paid a part up front, trying to break out the price a little bit. That was a jump of 13.9%. So services went up, which means things that people don't always need, while some food prices came down, and then again other things went back up. So really mixed bullishness and bearishness here. Prices for machinery, equipment, parts, and supplies, wholesaling, health, beauty, optical goods, retailing, traveler accommodation services, outpatient care, and application software publishing also moved higher. So in contrast, prices for airline passenger services fell 2.1% because people can't afford to go on vacations right now. And the indexes for automobile retailing and for bundled wire telecommunications accesses also decreased. So people cutting back on the things that they don't really need right now, and that's probably not a bad thing, to be honest. So you can see not exactly as high as what we were in previous times, like the previous month, but we are still higher than what we were for all of late 2022, early 2023. So let's go back in and take a look at what the core PPI said, because core PPI had some important data here. Core PPI prices in the United States were up by 0.3% over the previous month in September. So, following a 0.2% rise in the previous month and slightly above market expectations of a 0.2% rise. On a yearly basis, core consumer prices were up by 2.7%. After an upwardly revised 2.5% rise in August. And we're going to talk about that in a second because we're seeing a lot of revisions coming out of the Federal Reserve. The Fed is going back and changing numbers. Go figure, right? And the reason that that matters is, by the way, guys, today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, FOMC minutes are going to be coming out. So that's going to be probably a dump. And we're going to take a look at the charts and see where that dump might be heading down to. But I want to show you what was going on here. The Kabisi letter. You guys know I love this. And actually, I was watching TradeFly yesterday. I'm going to be doing some work with TradeFly. But, oh, he's in the chat. There we go. TradeFly, what's up, brother? He was using some Kabisi letter. And it's funny because I was watching his show and I went, hey, he's using my source stuff. And then he gave me a shout out for it. And I thought that was really cool. So shout out TradeFly. If you guys don't know, you should. You go check him out. He's got a pretty good show over there. And we're going to be doing some work together here in the future. And I believe possibly Tim might be doing some stuff with TradeFly also. So the Investing Bros channel. So shout out TradeFly. But anyway, let's get into this. Breaking August PPI inflation data was just revised significantly higher. So last month when PPI came out, it came out at 1.6%. Well, now they've gone back and said actually it was more like 2%. And then August core PPI inflation was revised up from 2.2% to 2.5%. So both of those going in the wrong direction. Crypto antagonist, you're always late. It's okay though. Take your seat. Enjoy the class. This comes just days after the jobs report nearly doubled expectations. And we're going to talk about this numbers too, because there's some shady stuff going on with these numbers here that they're putting out. The August jobs report, which is last month, just also revised higher, showing 40,000 more jobs were added. Why is all the data being revised in a more hawkish direction? So there you go. A crux of crypto, or Gia, can one of you guys grab TradeFly's link off of his YouTube? It's TradeFly, and drop it in the chat, please. Or you can just drop my tweet. Drop a link to my tweet that I tweeted yesterday with that link in it. There you go. The data revisions are incredibly important to watch over the next few months. These revisions in payroll and inflation data have been material. Upward data revisions are soon going to be a major topic for the Fed. So they keep revising previous month stuff. Thank you so much, G. I appreciate you. There's that post. And there's another post that I want to talk about here because this is happening super fast and it's very weird what is going on. Why are you doing that to me? Okay, there we go. Let's go back into my bookmarks here and we are going to show you what we're seeing here. Quit it. I don't know why it's doing that, folks. Anyway, let me just refresh it here and we'll bring it back up. There we go. So there's a thing about the jobs that was broken down in here. Where is it at? I got so much in here. Nope, not that one. That's the one that we talked about yesterday. Oh, here it is. I found it. Look, check this out. You guys are gonna love this. Here's some shady numbers. Let's go to here and we'll pull this up. There we go. And then we are going to bring this in. There. Yes, do that. All right, so this is people holding 2 full-time jobs. An all-time high of 447,000 people are struggling to make ends meet. So this fantastic graphic here is showing that a record 447,000 Americans are now working 2 full-time jobs. That's 80 hours a week, people. Meanwhile, part-time employment has jumped by nearly 1.2 million since June. The number of Americans working 2 full-time jobs is now 33% higher than what it was in 2008 when we had the big crash there. Americans are taking on multiple jobs to fight inflation. And then it says here, it's unusual to see a record number of people working multiple jobs during a soft landing, quote unquote. Inflation is still an issue and higher interest rates are here to stay. Can the Fed really achieve a soft landing? And I think the answer to that is no. That's not going to be the case. So let's go back in, see what else we have here. And I just wanted to talk about that because that's one of those numbers that just doesn't make sense to me. That when they put it out, hey, look at these great job numbers. But the reality is yeah, a lot of that is 1.2 million new part-time jobs that people are working there. So, um, yes, I agree, Gia. I'm with you on that one. Eric Wallen said, "Yep, that's me. He's the one out there doing that job, doing those double job working schedules." Elo Brown says, "Seems like smoke and mirrors." It's absolutely smoke and mirrors. So that was the PPI, the CPI. Oh, here you go. You guys know all that immigration going on down here on our lovely border? Interestingly enough, there might be a reason for that. Um, According to the Kabisi report, the Kabisi letter, immigration has increased 5.3 million since COVID began. Massive jump there, and they just don't seem to shut it off at all. So, an increase in immigration is helping the Fed to reach their 2% inflation target faster. Since April 2020, immigration to the U.S. has increased by 5.3 million people. A rise in immigration puts downward pressure on wage growth. As wage growth falls, so does inflation. Is more immigration the key to the 2% inflation mark? So let's talk about this for a second here. Um, is that the reason that we're seeing such a dovish approach to locking down the border and getting immigration under control, or at least making smart policy for immigration processes and procedures? I don't. It's worth mentioning, and it's worth taking a deep dive into. So hey, if anyone comes up with anything on this and they see a correlation anywhere else besides this, let me know. But yeah, there's definitely some coincidence there on what they're doing with immigration policy, their lackadaisical approach to the border restrictions and security versus what the result is. Because this maybe that's the whole point. Maybe it is to get to this 2% inflation rate. So, um, yeah, let's go back and check out any more bookmarks that I have here because I got some good stuff, and then we're going to jump into articles, and then more importantly, we're going to jump into charts. So. Um, 420,000. Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. Uh 2 point oh sorry, exhibit 2. 545,000 workers on strike would be the most since 1983. Okay? So right now, currently 420,000 workers are on strike in the US, according to Bank of America. Estimates show that up to 545,000 workers are likely to be on strike by the end of this year. So, what was this? October, we got 3 months. In the next 3 months, we could see a 125,000 increase of workers on strike. This would be the most since 1983, which also happens to be the last time that inflation was an issue. Meanwhile, a record 447,000 people now hold two full time jobs, which we've already talked about that. Wage growth has clearly not kept up with the increase in recent prices, and housing markets are still rising far quicker than the inflation rate. So, what does it say? The longer inflation remains elevated, the more strikes we'll see. So they've got to get that under control. Maybe this is all connected, and that's why we're seeing the very lackluster presence on the border for policymakers. So. Um, what else we got? Oh, 5 things. This is 5 things that Bloomberg says you need to know here. We'll go ahead and pull this up here, and I will sign in. Yep, Piper. We're already signed in. There we go. Because I got the Bloomberg, just so you guys can get all the stuff that you never were able to get, right? Uh, 5 things that you need to know to start your day. First things first, I'm on every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the sixth thing. Biden backs Israel. President Joe Biden says the U.S. is speeding military assistance to Israel following the Hamas surprise assault and will stand by the Jewish state as it strikes back. Biden delivered his most extensive and emotional comments to date on the attack, denouncing the violence as abhorrent. He said aid includes ammunitions and interceptors to replenish the Iron Dome anti missile system. He said he'd ask Congress to urgently fund national security requirements. Yeah, because just hey, print more money. That's the way. Oil steadied. Um, Oil steadied after the biggest jump in 6 months as markets considered the fallout during the prospect of fresh economic stimulus in China. So There's that. Treasuries reverse course. Treasury yields posted some of their biggest single day declines all year on expectations that the Fed is likely done raising interest rates. The U.S. 10-year yield slid more than 18 basis points to 4.62 at one stage, a day after two Fed officials indicated that the recent surge in U.S. yields may have done the job of tightening financial conditions for them. So it was down 15 basis points at 3 p.m. New York time yesterday. The cash market was closed for Monday. And so yesterday was the first one to, hey, Otter in the house. What's up, my man? How you doing, brother? Yell's winning streak here. Yell's endowment record, 1.8% investment gain in the year, ending in June, the 14th straight increase for the second wealthiest private U.S. college in the world. Why are they so wealthy? Because, people are getting their, yeah, $50,000 a missile is right, Elo Brown. People are getting their, this money that they owe to them paid off. So, hey, they're good. They're good. Why not go to Yale if you're going to get your debt paid off by the federal government? I love it. Stocks rally. Stocks rose yesterday despite crypto dropping. Stocks had a really good day. Amazon Prime, Amazon.com, gained while starting its fall sale for Prime subscribers. If you didn't check that out, they had some pretty good deals in there yesterday. PepsiCo climbed on a bullish forecast. Who else in here? Google did pretty decent yesterday. Oil edged lower though, so there you go. And then coming up, economic data, which we just went over, and yeah, that's it. Let's go jump into these articles, and then let's jump into the charts. So, CME here. Actually, here you go. Here's your aggregated U.S. inflation rate, 20.4%. It's up 5/107% today. So, you know, when you aggregate this on Trueflation with all of the old methodologies, we should be at a 20.4% US inflation rate. So lovely. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any changes here after this PPI data. 70.9 was what it was. Yeah, it's 84% chance of a pause now for November. Nope, nope, don't do that. Get in there. I don't know why you don't want to play nice with me. Whatever. Whatever, be a jerk. We'll just move it over. So 84% chance of a pause, 15.8% chance of a hike November 1st. So look at December. December starting to come up. We got a little over 1 in 4 chance of a rate hike in December, but still looking at like a pause there. Moving over to January, it is going to be a pause of 69% at 69%. What's interesting is, check this out. This one here is a 2.9% chance in January that we actually cut back, and that's not the case. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. Still looking like a pause in March. Looking like a pause right now in May, but this is quickly coming up for a reversal and a pivot, cutting those rates. So Bitcoin liquidations, 19,400 traders liquidated in the past 24 hours for a total of $50.4 million, but $783,000 was the single largest liquidation order on OKX. So good job there, dude. You lost almost $1 million. Stop losses, save marriages. Wall Street Journal, $134 million in cryptocurrency aid went to Hamas and Hezbollah. I'm not going to dig in on this too much, but yeah, guys, yes, this is bad for crypto, and I'll tell you why. Because when you have things like Hamas and Hezbollah doing attacks and all over the news, and they get word of this, this is what they're going to focus on. Not the fact that $75 million in funds was given by Biden over to Hamas to fix their relationship after Trump, or that $6 billion went to Iran and Iran planned all this. This is what they're going to look at right here. Not none of that stuff. They're going to look at this. So probably not good for what's coming in regulation, and this is probably going to be their purpose for their methodology for stepping hard into the world of regulation right now. So next one. More than 2,100 dead in Israel Hamas conflict. First batch of American military aid arrives. And I was just talking about that. There we go. Sending more money out. Print the money. Print the money. It's okay. Let's get past all the numbers. That's how many people have internally been displaced. Where's the aid in here? I guess the aid is just in the thing here, right here. So expect money to come. First batch of American military aid arrives. We're going to be sending ammunition and expensive rockets and just everything else that's going to cost you, the taxpayer, a crap ton of money. That's the word, crap ton. Um, U.S. mortgage rate climbs to a fresh multi-decade high of 7.67. We went over that already on the macroeconomic data. JP Morgan debuts a tokenization platform, BlackRock among key clients in this report. So let's talk about this for a second here. We are looking at United States banking giant JP Morgan debuted its in-house blockchain-based tokenization application. So basically what this does is it allows them to tokenize assets, and they're going to be working this with BlackRock. This could be tokenizing real estate. This could be tokenizing stocks. Does not matter. But JP Morgan owns this TCN, and it's going to be interesting to see how they use blockchain technology here to tokenize stuff. So interesting, very interesting. It would be nice to be able to buy stocks and have it all settled and resolved within 20 minutes on the blockchain as opposed to 3 to 5 days like it does in the current system. So Google Cloud and right here, role of Google, Amazon, and Immutable Games in the development of the Web3 industry. Little partnership going on there between Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, and Immutable. Um, Riot Games, Epic Games, Warner Brother Games, Ubisoft is all that stuff that's under that. So this is a important collaboration because it aims to stimulate mass adoption of games on blockchain by leveraging the reliability, luster, and scalability of traditional web giants like Amazon and Google. So pretty cool there. Uh, Technology growing. That's mass adoption right there at its finest. Let's get in here. Hamas crypto funding sparks controversy as the Coinbase CLO takes the stand. Headline. We're moving on. We're trying to get in the TA here. I would like to self custody stocks also, Eric. Binance grants Israel's request to freeze Hamas linked accounts, but there's a catch. What's the catch? Let's get the catch. Um, Instruction that is in line with the current state of unrest between IDF and Hamas. Where is the link? As of Wednesday, crypto platform did oblige by freezing all such accounts. It shared this detail of the move and something WeChat post. Um, According to the post, Binance did not do anything out of the ordinary, and neither has the platform taken sides on the ongoing war. However, any platform such as its own must cooperate with freeze requests in cases like this, of course, because they don't want to lose their ability to operate still. I clarified the decision was totally out of the hands of Binance or any other trading platform itself. Not really seeing in here what the caveat was for them to do that. I don't think they really had a choice, anyways. So yeah, that's there's more of that stuff that can be used against us investors out here in the crypto space. Stocks are in a bubble. We got a little article here from unusualwells.com. Be careful if you guys are looking at unusual wells. I actually tagged them in a post yesterday because they were using an article talking about something, and I went back and found the original headline that they were copying into their website, and it was from February of this year. And I said, this isn't news, it's olds. So be careful. But this one here, I've done the vetting for you, and that's what I do. So you guys don't have to do all the work. Stocks are in a bubble and could crash over 50%. Stocks are in a bubble, could crash over 50% per Jeremy Grantham. Home prices in the U.S. will fall by 30%. This was in a podcast. 40 years of lower and lower interest rates push asset prices up, particularly housing, through the mortgage mechanism. How can it not? If you can afford to pay more for your house because the mortgage rates are 3%, sooner or later you'll pay more for it. And so the competition bids the price up to fill the available affordability. Now that the mortgage rate is 7.67%, the same thing will happen in reverse. It doesn't happen overnight. Everyone in the market wants everything to happen yesterday. Doesn't happen that way. Patience. Patience produces uncanny profits, guys. But with interest rates and mortgages, it can take a long time to percolate through, but you can be absolutely certain that it will. Real estate is a global bubble. It has driven house prices provably to multiples of family income all over the world. Beijing, Shanghai, Sydney, Adelaide, Canada, London. It used to be multiples of 3.5 times the family income. London is now 10 times. So a home costs 10 times the family's income. Toronto is worse. No one can afford to buy a house. No young kids are coming out to buy a house. This is not a stable equilibrium. Your house prices will come down by 30%, would be a good guess. And when he asked about stocks, he said, "Are we in a big bubble?" And he said, "Yes, of course." So there you go. That was from a podcast transcribed over, so that was pretty good. Stocks rise as Wall Street dials back Fed wagers and the markets wrap. We saw this yesterday. We're going to talk about this in the chart, so there's no reason to go into that. You know that everything went up yesterday except for some crypto. SEC gains major support in the key Coinbase legal brawl. So that's going on right now. For those that don't know, Coinbase is fighting with the SEC, and the case has started. The United States Securities SEC has just received much needed support from the North American Securities Administrators Association, which is now acting as amicus curiae. Don't speak Latin, my apologies, in its legal fight against top crypto exchange Coinbase. The body filed its support, arguing that digital assets that are at the core of the regulatory crackdown should not be treated as somehow special. The body also argues that enforcement actions should not be considered novel or extraordinary because a digital currency trading platform is involved. At the core of the SEC Coinbase dispute is the allegation that the latter is supporting a list of digital currencies that are deemed unregistered securities. Some of the tokens labeled by the regulator include, but are not limited to, Cardano, Solana, and Filecoin. So, in its support for the SEC, NASA said, as far as security laws are concerned, there should be no preferential treatment. So basically, F Coinbase. That's what I heard there. So, yeah, more bad news. We already talked about the stuff that's in here. Did I miss anything in my bookmarks? And if not, we're getting in this. We're doing it. Um, Live stream, PPI, got that. We nailed that. We got the immigration thing. We talked about them jobs. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari says he wasn't yet convinced that a surge in long-term Treasury yields would lessen the need for further rate hikes, but now he is. We already talked about that. That's the employment average rate on the fixed-year mortgage, 7.95% according to this. And I think that's good. We are out of this. Let's jump over into charts. All right. Let's talk to the chat for a second. A lot of news today, guys. My apologies. Tons and tons of news. Okay. I'd like to self-custody stocks. I already talked about that. Beef. Yeah, beef futures are up 70%. Sugar is up 20%. Absolutely. And when you do stocks, can you do symbiotic? I'm up 30%. I wonder if I should sell. Well, I can't give you advice to sell, but I can tell you what I would do, Eric. Because I don't give financial advice. I give data, and you guys need to do your own research and make your calls. But I can tell you what I'm going to do if I was in that boat. So let's take a look here. This is Bitcoin. First off, right off the bat, let's talk about this. Looking at the 12-hour chart here. And I showed you guys my line back here that I told you that we had broke beneath. Almost a retest there on that candle up. And then down it came, catching all the support here in the golden pocket. This dash yellow line here, this is Tim's line that he was watching. And according to his line, it's also been broke. So now, regardless if you were following my line or if you were following Tim's line, we have broken them both. And we're coming to the downside. We were in the golden pocket here yesterday. I said, we got to hold this golden pocket. If we hold this, we're good. Well, overnight, we broke that, bouncing a rejection off of that 0.65 right there at 27,239. And now we are looking like we're holding support on this purple line. What is this purple line, you ask? Piper, what is that purple line? Well, that purple line belongs to this. Let's turn that off. There we go. Turn off the EMAs. That is your fixed range volume profile value area high. This is going all the way back to November of 2022. So almost a year back worth of data. Value area high coming in right there. Let's go ahead and put those back up. And then let's get into a little view that we can see what we are looking at here for levels. Range fibs. There we go. Thank you. But yeah, we're getting that rejection on the golden pocket right now. And I'm going to look and see if this is going to hold. If this can hold, then great. If not, we're probably heading down to the platinum pocket at the 786. And if we turn on the ribbons here, put this on a weekly. Nope, that's a monthly. Thank you, a weekly. You'll actually see here. Come on. Thank you. You'll actually see that we actually do have the 50-week moving average right there. That's the 50-week EMA. That's that green one. We did lose the 100. There is a 200 EMA, weekly EMA, sitting right here in the platinum pocket there. So that's where I would be watching for us to come down to if we cannot hold this 50 in the value area high. So I think games are going to be the first mainstream adoption of blockchain technology. Agreed. Tradefly, absolutely agreed. Um, Crux is talking back to him. Yep, cool. All right, so that's what we're seeing there on the Bitcoin's price right now. Let's go down and see what we're looking like on lower time frames, and let's throw on some chart prime indicators on here. Let's turn all that off. Off. Thank you. Looking at chart prime here, we did lose the dynamic reactor on the 4 hour, and we retested it for the rejection, probably coming back down there. If we look at the 12 hour here, you can see that we also lost that dynamic reactor right there. That's that green and red line. It's actually the trampoline a lot. You can see here support, support when it was underneath it, rejection, rejection. Well, we've lost that now. So I would be watching for this trend assist at about 26,800, but if we can't hold that, like I told you, probably looking at coming down to that platinum pocket, and that's going to be coming in about 26,200 to $25,500. So we do have a buy indicator here, but that has already played out to the upside after rejecting right here on the 50% on the Fibonacci. Um, yeah, if you look here on the oscillators, let's take a look at those. RSI prime closing off of that 70% line to the downside. This is the free indicator. Just go in, type in RSI primed, or type in one word chart prime. You'll be able to throw it onto your chart for absolutely nothing, but it is a great RSI put into candlesticks. And let's go in and look at the Japanese, and let's see if we printed off a chart pattern. We did right there. Engulfing candle patterns there on the candlesticks, which would have been this candle here. It said we were flipping, and that's what we did. Have one push up, one more. Hold on. Excuse me, man. I am so sorry. Got the sneezes today. Allergies killing me down here in El Paso. We after getting that rejection, it did flip, but yeah, this did play out here on the engulfing candle pattern there. Yeah, let's get back to my Hikanashi and let's go see what else we got here. Looking at the oscillators here, we do have a push down off the top ribbon. We had a reversal back here also. Momentum dot to the downside, running sideways there for a little bit while we were holding support on that golden pocket. But now, as you can see, we are pushing down, coming into the zero line here soon. I'd be watching to see if we break that zero line or not while that price is coming down. So what else do we have here? Let's jump in and check the money flow. There's that. Trend Fusion oscillators. Check the money flow here. Give it a 1 second for the load. There we go. Money flow is still looking weak here. I told you guys, yeah, it's got a little slope up, but it's looking very weak. Not getting much angle on it like we had back here. But we do have that Trend Fusion saying we're on a negative trend at this point right here, and we turned red there. So just trading those red trend lines a lot of times will make you some money. So we did hit that trend on Sunday, October 8th for that downside for all of that. So all right, let's go jump into some other charts here. You're in a BTC short. Good job. Let's go check out ADA. Let's go check out ETH first. ETH looking very weak right now. Also, I told you guys probably coming down to this line. That's what that white line is there, sitting right there at the 50%. So expect that this is going to be coming back down to there. Sell off, rejection on that dynamic reactor. Like I always talk about, you know, little trampoline or ceiling, whichever one you want it to be, whichever side you are, that's what you should be expecting. You know, bounce there, rejection, bam. Came down, got the sell indicator there, and down it is coming to that 50% line. I do believe money flow looking weak, trend still coming down, almost down to the 30% line right now. Actually, we are on RSI prime, but you can see this can come all the way down to like the nines. So I do think that we are going to be coming down to that 50% line, looking at $1,500 Ethereum, and then I would be watching to see if we can hold support on the 50. That's going to be dependent upon Bitcoin. Yeah, let's go in and check out Chainlink. Hashtag Chainlink. Gotta love the Chainlink. Link Marines. Um, Yeah, chain link again rejected at the $8 line like it always does. And right now it does look like it's trying to come back up. Let's get this fixed range volume profile in here. Yeah, we got bounce right there on the point of control on the daily here. Let's drop this to a 12 hour, see how we're looking there. Get back in there, get that data. Thank you. Yeah. So we not looking horrible here. Money flow is about to come up. We did get a bounce right there on that point of control from the fixed range volume profile, sitting above the trend assist. I won't lie, Link is not looking too bad right now. I would be watching for Link to come back and retest this um, point of control, and if it does, that might be a good spot to long there. We had a buy signal that printed back here on September 17th, and it came up, retested on the dynamic reactor, deep into the momentum wave, which gave it a pullback. We can see here, though, that didn't matter for a long time. The bears were getting wrecked, and the bulls were winning. But we came back down almost to the point of control there, back up, rejected from it again, which is what you're normally going to see, not this. And then now back down to the point of control. So yeah, point of control is looking pretty strong here, guys. RSI is looking pretty decent for a reversal up. So be watching for upside on Link. And it does that. It does that a lot. It's just running opposite of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's not doing anything or Bitcoin's going down, Link takes off every now and then. So it is what it is. There's my trade setup right there. That's what I'll be watching for. We're looking at $7, $7.20, 7.16. So coffee because murder's wrong. Um, Solana up 0.68% today, holding in its golden pocket there. We are sitting above the dynamic reactor, which means that it's sitting bullish still above the trend assist. Money flow is coming down, but that came down already, and now we're sitting nice and pretty in the golden pocket. So we might see a pull up out of this today and maybe a retest on top back up to the platinum pocket, which you can see is where we rejected there and where we rejected all there in that platinum pocket. If you want to see the ranges for that, let's go check it out and I'll show you. That's going to be coming from the high back here to the low right here. I know that there's a high here, but it's still respected back into the ranges that it was in. So this was a fake out. Therefore, I'm not going to measure that in relation to this. If I was to measure that in relation on its own, then I would be doing something like this here, and I'll show you how that would work. Let's go grab a fibs again. We're going to go, wait, hold on. There we go. We're going to go from low to high on here. And that would still be showing like the platinum pocket bounce, so it's not bad, but I still think that the other one's in play. So you can do either or. Right now, we are sitting below the 50%, which is bearish, but these ranges did play out. I still think, despite that breakout back here, that we spiked up and then fought to get back in. You can see it was on the one-to-one line that it actually did that fight. Let me bring that in here for you just to show you. It was that one-to-one line that we kept bouncing off of. And so this range is still in play for all of this price action, despite it breaking that. And I do believe that we are in the golden pocket there. So what else we got? Let's go check some stocks. Let's go look at our market opens. US 30 here, continuing its uptrend today. Let's check the 4 hour just to see what we're looking like. We did have a gap over here that we went back and we closed out. That was going to be last week, early this week. So we are on the upside and we are coming up. We are sitting though at a double bottom here. So be very careful. Or double top, I should say. If we go over here, let's see what this would look like because we might have something going on here. If we come back down again, right here, we got shoulder, head. We come back down here and make a nice little, this would first off be a cup and handle here, but it would also be the left shoulder for an inverse head and shoulders. So let's see what that would be at if we were to get a breakout on that. Style. Don't extend it. Thank you. Let's go. Yeah, that'd be putting us right back over here. Let's see if there's anything relevant about this because I believe that's probably going to be a fixed range volume profile in there with the point of control. Let's go back to here and let's run it over. Yeah, there you go. Point of control. That would be the breakout point. Um, yes. Hey, stock markets are being really weird, man. I when I moved all of my Bitcoin at the $30,000 range, and everyone thought I was nuts, and I said I'm buying Google, Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia. Everyone was like, "What? Why would you get rid of your Bitcoin? Just buy the stocks." This was why. It was a good call. So yeah, that breakout of that head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern, would put us back up to the point of control up there too. Let's go see what the S&P 500 is looking like here. That's true. S&P doing the same thing, a little bit down today on the markets. However, uh, we have just been so high here on the RSI. Money flow still looking good though. This curvature here does not look like it's going to be too bad here on this trend. It looks like it could curve back up again. So, like I said, don't be surprised if we come back down and create that other shoulder that I was looking at over here on the Dow Jones. So let's look at the Nasdaq up 0.25% today on the futures. I'm not sure what I was talking about back here, but that was where we dropped, obviously. And then now printing back up again here for higher highs, about back in this range here. And that's probably going to be really close to a point of control there, too. Let's go and see what we have here on fibs. Let's go from the high here. Can you lock on, please? Thank you very much. Down to this low. Yeah, right now getting rejection on that 50% line. You can see we got a perfect rejection on the platinum pocket. A lot of play on the golden pocket here. Was previous support. When you see it locked like this and it plays out on these levels, then you know you've measured the right points there, guys. And now we looks like that 50% is going to be our next target to break up. I do believe we're going to see this maybe come down to the 382, which would finish that shoulder over there on the US 30 Dow Jones. And then we will see it get back up into the golden pocket. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then you wanted to see a stock. What was it? It was SYM, I believe. Yes, SYM. Well, let's take a look at this. And we're going to hop out of here because, we've got other shows that get ready to come on. And if they're watching over there on Hit Network, I'm not sure if I'm on Hit Network right now or not. I'm supposed to be going over there soon for simulcast off of my channel to there on Hit Network 24/7. So if I'm over there, shout out to people watching over there. And if so, I need to be off so that they can get their next show on. All right, Sim, let's go up 4.43% today. Let's give you a good breakdown here. Money flow is looking good. Money flow is looking good for you here. It is curving at the top right now a bit, but the trend line hasn't turned red. It's still green there. RSI is really high though, bro. There's some news here that came out on it. Symbiotic is at a critical price point. Are big gains in sight? That was yesterday. Symbiotic insiders sold shares worth $173,000 according to a recent SEC filing. That was 6 days ago, which it has not obviously cared. Symbiotic CFO succession not seen as a cause for concern. So they have their next earnings reports coming in on Monday, November 20th. So you're tracking that. Put that in your calendar. And then let's go do some fibs here. You bought at the local bottom. So this bottom here, like this month, or was it in last month? So let's go see what we have here. Actually, let's go from this one here because that's going to tell us what we're doing there. And then we'll do the higher one. Yep. Hey, we're in the platinum pocket right now. Be very careful on that rejection level there. If we go back and do that even further from the top here to the bottom, we'll see how we're looking there. Yeah, we're also coming up on the 382, which was its previous resistance line. So was support, broke it, tried to test it. Bears took control, retested it there, came back down, created the zero line, had a rejection on the 236, was able to get back up. Be very careful at this 4270 range. And then again, be very careful at its current range right now on the platinum pocket. And you can see it's literally on the top of the platinum pocket on that 887. So I don't think anything's looking too bearish on here yet. Let's throw on Chart Prime and see what we're seeing here. We're at the top here on the momentum band, but we are back above the back above the dynamic reactor. Eric, are you holding this? Is this a hodl? Is this an investment, a spot buy? Or are you trading this? That matters what I tell you. Yeah, it's dude, it looks solid. Like it's at some key resistances, but it's not doing bad. So let's go and check here just to see what other oscillators look like. MVP. Yeah, guys, look, when these candles are green down here, that's when they're saying to buy. This was, pretty close there, but this one here definitely nailed it. So if you guys want these, hey, look, we haven't twisted here yet, so you're not in danger on the MVP oscillator yet either. If you guys want these indicators, it's Chart Prime. You get 45% off your first monthly or quarterly subscription, and they give classes 6 days a week live to teach you how to do TA and use these indicators. So you'd like to hold, then I wouldn't do anything. I would watch the golden pocket or that 50% line. So watch 36.32 or watch 38.40. If those don't break, don't know that I would sell this right now, bro. Let's go take a look over here at Symbiotic. Yeah, they beat their earnings all the time. Performance for 1 week, 30.9%. 1 month, 14 is down for 3 month period here, up 53% for a 6 month. All the technicals on the daily are saying strong buy. On the weekly, a buy, a strong buy, and a neutral. And on the monthly, all buys. Let's look and see the forecast analyst rating. They have it as a buy. Their downside is $36. Their upside is 70. So, yeah, hodl away, man. Hodl like it's hot. There you go. That's what I got for you. I hope you guys got something out of me showing you what I'm looking at on the TA side there. Not bad, not a bad stock there, and good buy on that, Eric. That was awesome. So, all right, guys, I appreciate y'all being here and joining me. If you don't follow me on Twitter, do so at Army Piper. There is also one for Piper Academy. It's at Piper Academy. My good buddy Crux over there helping me manage that channel. So that's awesome. I appreciate you, brother. Guys, we'll be back here tomorrow, but be looking at today. A lot of hawkish numbers being revised from previous, despite new data coming out. And I'm going to be watching my charts today. So appreciate you guys. Always a pleasure. Remember, knowledge is profit. And as always, trade safe, stay primed. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
That was awesome, dude!